Happy New Year!
Welcome back! Oh, what a long break we just had.
We had such a long break. 2 whole weeks of kicking it by the tree side and opening a gift and just watching the snow fall gracefully on our shores.
On our shores and on our shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And, anywhere the snow falls on you, may you be blessed in this brand new year.
From the rooftops to the tree leaves, the snow probably keeps on falling, I bet. And you know what? It's going to keep falling because it's the year 2019. It sure is. It definitely is the year 2019 right now.
As we record this.
As we record this, we're pleased to report to you that 2019 looking great.
Mighty clean.
Looking mighty clean.
I showered every day so far this year.
I've showered every hour so far this year.
Every hour.
Every hour.
And
Quick showers. Micro showers.
This is 2 a.m.
Yes.
On January 1st, 2019.
Yes, so I'm...
You're 2 showers deep.
2 showers deep and feeling fresh.
And we have to make sure this one clock's in a little short because you're due for your next shower pretty soon.
Exactly, yeah. Starting to feel a little wrinkly, but I'm sure that's definitely a sign that I'm doing it really correctly.
It's just old age.
Yeah, I think that's just time marching on.
Old age. You're a year older as of today.
We're all a year older as of today.
Yes.
This episode is not coming out on January 1st. But thank you for coming back to your favorite podcast, probably, The Island Shuffle, the show where my name is Bean.
And my name is James.
This is not our name outside of the show, of course. This is only our name on the show.
This is our, lost James for James Sawyer.
Yes, of course. It's our Sawyers.
Uh-huh.
And all we do on the show is we watch the show Lost. But we watch a random episode each week.
We just choose. We go to random.org, actually, a good website of mine.
Classic website.
And it chooses for us. We trust the numbers. And this week, we got a really great season 5 episode.
Flawless season 5 episode. Well, there's some stuff.
There's
but
problems.
As far as season 5 episodes go, pretty fun one, I think.
It's okay.
It's all right. It was pretty watchable.
Uh-huh.
I watched it, and a lot of the times I had said, I like what I'm seeing here.
We're talking about Ben in this episode.
Talking about Ben? We're talking about an episode called Dead is Dead. Did you know this is an Emmy-winning episode?
No, it's not.
It is for Michael Emerson's performance as Ben. He won the Emmy for this episode.
Wow. Is it because he had to play a teenager at one point?
I think it's because he had to play a teenager at one point, and the Academy said, wow, we've never seen this before. Sold.
No one has ever suggested this take place before. I'm very surprised by that, though.
My logic is, he is, good in this episode. He's not bad.
Uh-huh.
He's better earlier, as a lot of the actors are, but I feel like it was just kind of a gimme. He'd been nominated so many times that they were just we better give it to him before the show ends, sort of deal. That being said, you want to get into it? It's a Ben episode.
Let's get into it.
I kind of feel like we should start with the flashbacks.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's, a lot
That's
to unpack
the meat and
there.
potatoes.
It really does feel like the meat and potatoes. And
it gives us the most to really dissect, I think.
It sure does.
Where does it... Well, it starts when he's a kid.
He's a kid. A horse rides into a town, and and everybody says, what's going on? But
what year is this? And the answer... 1980 or something.
From late 70s-ish. And we know because a man talks to Ricky, and Ricky says, what are you talking about? It's 1978, March. And the man says, bloody hell, Richard. What are you're telling me that you brought a sorting kid who got shot by a man named Saeed. You brought him all the way into our tempo, and you're telling tempo. You brought him all into the way that we measure the speed of music.
Tempo.
Yeah,
I understand.
Tempo. Like a funny tempo.
Yeah. So the British man has a interesting sense of humor.
He's a real pun slayer.
Pun slinger.
Yeah, he's a pun
like
slinger.
Gunslinger.
The fastest pun in the West.
That's good.
That's good.
He is... I'll come up with something.
You'll come up with something. It'll come to you naturally.
I'll interrupt you in a minute.
Yes, please do. Curly-haired man.
Charles Whitmore.
Hey.
Because he's very witty.
Hey.
It's Charles Whitmore, so we're talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about a man named Charles Whitmore and another man named Richard. I want to call him Richard Avocado. That's not
Richard
his name.
Avocado. Ricardo Avocado.
Oh, that rolls off the tongue. That's why I did it.
Ricardo Avocado.
Ricardo Avocado.
Richard Alpert.
Yes, it's him. The ageless man and the wealthy industrialist are here, and it's the late 70s. So
and
you know
these are the others.
So you know this episode is on one.
Yeah, exactly. We already have a horse.
Mm-hmm.
We have two of the late era lost icons that really, become the bigger the story within the story.
Exactly. They really become central. This is probably this is the closest thing we get to a Widmore-centric episode.
Yeah, this is the most screen time he's gotten for sure. And you know what? I say give him more because that guy seems to really care about the island or something. That guy's character seems to have a lot of unexplored elements.
He has a lot of interesting priorities that we'll get into this episode. So he's basically Richard just brought back a shot young Ben Linus. And Widmore's pissed about it. And Ricky's like, and Widmore's basically like, you should have let him die, Richard. You should have let this bleeding boy die.
Let the bleeding boy die.
And Ricky,
and he's I guess British people say that. Usually they say bloody, but he said bleeding.
Yeah, he said bleeding. So you knew he wasn't just saying a cuss. He meant literally a bleeding boy. And Richard says, you know what? Jacob wanted it done, so why don't you take it up with him? Oh wait, you can't, because I run things around here, bozo. And finally, Charles says, "Oh, geez," and walks into the tent, talks to Ben Linus, who's bandaged, just waking up. And Ben Linus is like, "I don't remember. Where am I? What's going on?" And Charles is like, "Don't worry, you're among friends." And he's like, "Don't worry, we'll get you back to your home in the Dharma Initiative, safe and sound as soon as possible. We'll get you back to your dad." And Ben's like, "I don't want to go back to my dad.
Don't take me back to my dad. He's a bad man.
I want to stay here."
Yeah.
I forget how this scene resolves, but I think Charles is just
he just says, "I'm Charles Whitmore," and that's like a big drop.
Exactly. The big drop is it's Charles.
Literally a name drop. Because they literally have a piece of paper with the name on it and drop it.
I would have preferred a beat drop. I would have preferred
a bass drop?
If the scene ended with a sick bass drop and Charles Whitmore said,
"We hit turbulence."
Yeah.
We hit turbulence. If you don't know that song, look it up.
It's a great song called Turbulence by some DJ featuring Lil
Diplo.
Jon. Diplo.
Lil Jon. Or is it Diplo?
Is it Diplo?
No, or is it, who is it? No, Steve Aoki.
That's who it is. Steve Aoki. Icon of his generation, Steve Aoki. Mouthpiece of a generation, Lil Jon. They team up for the
oh my god
for the
They're
hit.
quite possibly the most underwhelming collab ever.
definitely if you want to hear the most underwhelming drop of all time, definitely recommend the song Turbulence.
It's cool.
So instead of that, he says Charles Whitmore, and then that's the flashback. The next scene, who boy, where do we even start? We start with young Ben in a bush with a young Ethan.
But he's not young. He's supposed to be young.
Yes.
Ethan is like 14.
Yes, Ethan is clearly
Ben
played
is
by
a 40-year-old man with darker hair.
with a wig on.
Yeah.
He has a little wig on.
It's crazy. But Ethan and Ben are like the same age.
Yeah.
When we see them in normal life. But here, they made Ethan incredibly young.
They made Ethan played by a real life teen.
Like a child, and Ben is like this wrinkly old man.
They have a child already to play Ben.
Yeah.
We see child Ben.
I know.
Why don't they?
They could have used him, or they could have used a different actor that sort of looked a bit like Ben, and it would be less weird.
It would be less weird if they
or they could have made the flashback happen at a later point.
Yes, there's so many ways to do this in a way that isn't. But for some reason, they were just like, we gotta get Michael Emerson in this cool teen way.
Totally. Yeah, don't put him beside a child.
Don't put him beside. If you're gonna try to sell it, don't put him beside a real life child.
Yeah, exactly. It really points out the difference in their ages. There's just so clearly at least 20 years between the two of them.
It's unbelievable. It's so, if you've gotta, like, oh, the actor backed out at the last minute. Shooting's got to roll forward. We just don't have a choice but to put Michael Emerson in a wig. Well, okay,
it does seem like that happened, and then we're like, what can we do? Well, I have this wig.
I have this wig. Well, we've got this. We've also got this kid. No. The kid can't play Ben.
No.
The kid's got to play
People
same age
will be
Ethan.
confused.
People won't understand. Oh, man.
Fucking weird.
So Teen Ben comes through, and they're plotting something. What are they plotting? Well, they dip into a makeshift shelter, and who's in there?
Rousseau and the baby.
Young Rousseau and a young baby. And guess
A young baby, specifically.
A very young baby. Thrilled to announce that this is not one of those old babies you've heard
The
about.
baby is not waking up and going to the day job tomorrow.
No. This baby's still pooping his pants and crying and screaming.
If he had pants.
If he had pants, boy, I wish I had pants. I don't know where that was going.
I completely get it. You've been walking around all winter with these bare legs, and it is sad. Yeah.
I am cold.
Yeah, but we've all got to earn our own pants this world.
I haven't yet earned my pants.
Yeah,
a lot of people earn pants when they're
early
young,
on,
very
as
early. And it's embarrassing, frankly, that I haven't earned my pants yet.
But yeah, the pants authority.
You know what I say? Better late than never.
Honestly, true. I hope it's not too late and your legs don't shrivel up, and especially with this combination of no pants and incessant showering going on,
Yeah.
It's really creating a unhealthy leg scenario.
I really picked a bad time to do that during the start of the dead of winter.
And it's like -30 out, so you go outside and your legs are so wet because you don't own a towel, and they freeze, and then you have these little blocks of ice for legs. No pants.
No pants. Man. Well, you know what? Hopefully by completing this podcast, I can earn my pants someday. I'll get one step closer. Also, for the viewers at home, we're playing with a little rat today.
Oh, yeah.
Share with us the name
the
of
rat
the rat
out of the cage.
Share with us the name of the rat.
Connie.
After
Connie Francis. Seminole singer.
Loves to sing. Does this rat sing a song?
Yes.
Let's hear it.
Oh, I want to leave my cage and be a functioning member of society. I'm smarter than you think I am. I get bored in here. I want to eat a plethora of foods, not just the same thing over and over again.
Wow.
Oh, I think that this is inhumane.
Jeez. Damn.
Yeah.
So
it's an original too. Wrote it herself. She's pretty good.
She's pretty good. So this rat sings this a lot?
Every fucking day. Won't shut up about it. It's always about the same sort of theme. Just sort of like wanting to get out, thinking that this is a nightmare.
Do you see any correlation between these themes and the let's call it the homes you've provided for the rat?
No, I don't know what she would have to be mad about.
No.
When I provide her fresh pine shavings, some hay, literally feed her cat food.
Oh my God.
It's good. My cat and my rat eat the same food.
Oh, and I bet they're friends.
Yeah. And I used to be buying like fancy rat food. Then I just tried it one time to see what the rat thought. Crazy about the cat food. I would have saved so much money if I just fed a cat food.
How about that?
Yeah.
So all you rat and cat owners out there, take note.
Yeah.
Save $1 or $2.
One food for us all.
One food for us all.
I'm thinking of getting on the cat food.
Honestly, not a bad in this economy, not a bad move.
Yeah, totally. It's nutritionally quite good for you, and it's like cereal
It's just like cereal.
or cookies.
It's the same as cereal and cookies. You can eat it as a dessert or for a light breakfast snack.
For a light breakfast snack or right before bed.
Right before bed. Just before bed when you're going to bed.
When you're going to bed, when you're on the way from your kitchen to your bed.
Yeah, literally on the way. Pick up a bowl and then consume it on your way to the bed and then throw the bowl aside.
I would, yeah. I've thought about eating animal food before.
Oh, I mean, who hasn't?
Because it's like nutritionally very good for you.
I think when I was a kid, I liked the smell of dog food.
Uh-huh.
There was a big old bag of dog food. stick your head in and take a whiff. You go, what the hell? This seems interesting. But then Mom says, don't eat it. And I say, you know what? You got it,
You gotta
Mom.
listen to Mom.
You got to listen to Mom.
It would be interesting to, like, go hang out with one of my friends and then they're just eating some animal food, like cereal. And I asked them about it, and they play it off like it's totally normal.
Yeah, just like, it's fine. It's just like cereal, dude.
Yeah, it's fun. It's good for you.
You want some?
Yeah.
Try it.
Honestly, I've thought about it, but I've always decided no.
I often decide no.
Yeah, because I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't seem like it would taste very good.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's a curiosity thing more than I want to eat this thing.
It's really weird that it seems like, well, the cat and the rat both think it tastes great.
They must, right?
Seemingly.
I guess.
Or I guess they just biologically don't want to die.
Yeah.
But
you know, who can say? Who can say?
But it's weird that we don't think it tastes good.
No, it's weird. It's almost like we're a bunch of friggin' babies who need our sugar snacks packaged for us.
Yeah, totally. I need coffee and a bagel.
I need my mocha doka frappuccino, or I am a grumpy goober.
This world is going nuts.
Oh my god.
Nuts. But you know where they eat a lot of dog food?
Where's that?
On the island.
Is that... I will accept that as a segue. I will allow it. The court allows this segue back into the topic at hand.
That's funny.
So Teen Ben is stealing Russo's baby for some reason. He's been tasked with this.
We don't know.
We're never really given a great explanation as to why this is happening, but it happens. Russo, so he takes the baby. I don't think he knew there was going to be a baby.
No,
I think maybe
he did not.
I think his orders were just kill the lady.
Kill that, that lady on the beach?
Yeah.
Kill her.
Yeah, and she was like...
He was like, fair enough, okay.
All right.
I'll take the kid.
Yeah. You want me to take the kid along?
Yeah. He should come for his first killing.
Hey, kid, you bored?
Want to go kill the lady on the beach? Oh, my God.
So, takes the baby. Russo starts screaming at Ben to not take the baby, as is perfectly valid, frankly. And Ben says, like, here's the deal. If you try to find us, we'll kill you. If you want your baby to grow up safe, every time you hear whispers, run the other way. And then pieces with the baby. Comes back to camp with the baby. Widmore is just chomping on some cat food. And
he's just munching from a can, too.
Yeah.
He likes the canned wet food.
He's lapping it up with his big tongue. And
taking a couple licks of his own arms and whatnot.
And he says, did you do it? And then he hears a baby crying, and he goes, what the heck is that?
Where'd the baby come from?
Where'd the baby come from? And Ben says, well, look, there was a baby there. What did you want me to do? And Widmore, without missing a beat, just says, kill it, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So Widmore's all about killing babies this episode.
Widmore's bad.
Widmore is like it's really funny to me that like the only way they could establish a guy worse than Ben is to establish a guy who
wants to kill babies.
Who just loves to kill babies all
totally.
the time. Like
that literally is the only way to get worse than Ben.
Yeah.
Because Ben kills everything else.
He
just drew the line at a baby.
Yeah, he drew the line arbitrarily at baby. And I guess if you're going to draw a line somewhere, sure, but like...
Yes, yeah.
Widmore hasn't drawn that line, I suppose.
No. Widmore doesn't draw lines.
No, he draws squiggly circles.
Yeah, he won't draw in straight lines.
What he draws is a squiggly circle, and then he draws two squiggly circles inside of that big circle. And then he draws a squiggly line down from the top of the circle to the bottom of the circle.
He draws a line?
And then he... a squiggly line, not a straight
line. A squiggly line, okay.
And then he draws some more squiggly lines off of the center line, and then it looks like a person. And he's a cartoonist.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Widmore does do that. Widmore draws a squiggly line.
He draws newspaper funnies.
Oh, I love those, honestly.
They're funny.
Funny every time.
Funny every time. I love the comic of Pickles where the old men go, we're old.
I really liked, I forget what it was called. I forget.
Was it Marmaduke Duke?
No, it was old people too.
Was it for better or for worse?
It might have been, or
I had a newspaper comics phase when I was a kid. This is the same as my dog food phase.
For better or for worse, is that like the family one,
That's
though?
the family one that's
okay, no, it's not that one.
serialized.
I didn't like that one.
No.
That was lame.
No. I didn't like...
This one was sort of, it was like weird old people.
Weird old people, eh? Well, every old person I met is super regular and normal, so that's...
Totally, yeah.
I imagine that's where a lot of the humor comes from.
Uh-huh.
That juxtaposition. So, anyways, speaking of cartoon, Winmore loves to draw them, but right now he loves to kill babies. And and Ben dares him to, basically. Ben says, like, I'm not going to kill a baby. You know what? Why don't you go ahead and kill this friggin' baby if you love to kill babies so much? And Winmore looks at him and goes, oh.
You got me there, buddy.
Me. I guess I won't kill a baby.
And not today, at least.
Not today. And so... Ben decides to raise Alex as his own.
Weird
move.
Especially because...
Better than killing her, I guess.
Yeah, it is better than killing her.
Again, it's never established why they want to kill the lady
no,
or the baby.
No, it really is not. And it's...
Ricky has no input in this scene, by the way. Ricky's never like, come on, guys, it's a baby.
Yeah. He just stands there.
He's just like, well, we got better let this play out.
It's funny that I like Ben's thought process where he goes to the beach and he brought the kid along and he's fully ready to murder the lady on the beach.
Locked and loaded.
And then he sees a baby with her and he says, mission has changed. Now we're stealing a baby.
Yeah.
And the lady lives and we steal a baby.
Yeah.
That's the new thing we're doing.
It's certainly a creative solution to not wanting to kill in front of a baby, I guess.
Yeah. It'd be a shame to kill in front of a baby.
It would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And it's not the first time he'll run into this problem, and it won't be the last. But before he gets there, we're 10 years later again, I think. And we're
much later. This is after the massacre.
This is after the massacre of the Dharma Initiative. The others
They're now living in the Dharma houses.
The others are living in the Dharma houses.
They, in between this period, killed all of the Dharma people, and it is just glossed over.
They do not make a big deal out of it. It's just like, oh yeah, remember when we did that? Anyways, push me higher, Daddy.
Now we have swings.
Now we have swings. I love to swing on the swing with you, Daddy. And so they're doing that. They're having a normal one. And Ricky says, hey, guess what? Charles is heading off. You want to say goodbye? And Ben says, yes, indeed, I do. So he goes out to the dock, and Charles is being escorted away. And the implication is that Charles has been banished, and now Ben is going to be taken over as the head honcho.
Uh-huh.
And they have a conversation. And it's basically like, Charles is kind of like, it's bullshit that I got banished. And Ben breaks it down and says, you went off and you had a child with an outsider. You kept
leaving.
You kept leaving. You broke the rules, dude. You have to get banished. And Ben and Charles is like, you should have killed that baby, buddy. The island wanted that baby to die.
Like, chill, guy.
The island wanted...
Get over your baby murdering thing.
And Ben rightfully calls him out and says, I don't think the island wanted to... Like, the island's a lot of things, but I don't think the island wanted to kill a baby.
Uh-huh.
I think you wanted to kill a baby. I think that's on you.
Crazy.
And
I think you just wanted the baby to die for no reason.
For no reason. And Charles was like, yeah, whatever. Mark my words. Someday you'll be standing where I'm standing right now, and you'll be thinking the same thing, and you'll let a baby die, and they'll do it for the island. And you think you're running things differently than I am? And Ben says, I am running things differently now. I'm doing it unselfishly, and everything I do for the island, not like you. And Charles says, like, we'll see about that, buddy. And it's very on the nose.
Yeah, very weird. But then he leaves. He's banished.
Flash forward once more to the mid-2000s, where Ben is currently trying to recruit everyone to bring them back to the island.
Oh, yeah.
But in the middle of it...
In the middle of all this, for some reason...
He has an errand to run.
Uh-huh.
He said,
just a quick little thing.
Just a quick little thing. He checks in with his friend Charles. They're both like...
He phones him up, yeah.
He phones him up and he's like, hey, you were right about getting banished from the island. I'm banished now too, but unlike you... I'm coming back. Charles is like, yeah, right, buddy. I've been spending billions of dollars trying to get back to the island.
You'll never get back there.
Never get back there. And Ben says, oh, yeah? Not only am I going to do it, I'm going to kill your daughter before I do it. Here I go. Bye.
And Charles is like, wait, what?
No,
wait.
no.
But he hangs up.
So now, so at this point, now Ben is the real murderer. Ben's really the bad one.
Uh-huh.
And he goes up to the boat, and it's Charles's daughter, Penny. And Penny's there, and Ben starts to just, like, point a gun at her and explain, like...
I'm gonna murder you.
Your father killed my daughter. Now I gotta kill his daughter. And that's just the way it is. Sorry about it. And Penny's like, why? And Ben's explanation is literally like, your father is a very, very bad person.
Oh, my God,
And
Ben.
it's just like, don't.
Who is the one with the gun?
Just, like, do it or don't, man.
But then we have this special little boy.
Yeah, here comes a special boy. He has arrived, and it is Charlie Hume, the son of Desmond and Penny.
Uh-huh.
He comes out of the boat and says, Mama, I wish for a glass of milk, please.
Milk? And Penny's like, go inside. And the kid just doesn't.
No, he totally does. He wanders right back.
Takes her a couple times. I'd
Yeah.
go in the first time.
I'd go in one time.
If I lived on a boat with my parents, Penny and Desmond.
Yeah. Don't eat the dog food, Charlie. But Mama.
Mama. Can't I eat the human food? You guys only have foie gras and cheese, and I literally eat dog food.
No questions now, Charlie. This is healthy, I tell you.
I have to admit that those last couple words were not an original sentence. That was actually a lyric that my rat Connie sung the other day, and
she's smart. She's a smart lyricist, and she's very talented, and I hope she gets that record contract.
I think she should.
She deserves.
Who wouldn't? Are you kidding me? This girl,
Star
Who would give
power.
her that? Yeah, exactly.
just
I think the
oozes
world's
charisma.
ready. We had a rat that was a movie star in Ratatouille.
Yeah, I think we're ready for a rat to climb the pop charts.
Yeah, rats. Last big thing they did was the plague.
Yeah.
So I think we're ready for another
Yeah.
explosion of rats.
Yeah, like a different kind of plague.
Yeah, different kind of plague.
Like
Different kind of British invasion.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Beatles, but rat. Mhm.
The Rattles.
The Rattles. Yes.
I guess the Beatles, the Rats.
Yeah.
There's a band called the Rats.
Why wouldn't there be a band called the Rats?
I don't know.
Ha ha.
But Desmond comes running in.
Yes. Well, Desmond gets shot before Buddy does his monologue about how Widmore's a bad man and you're caught up in something bigger and I have to kill you. I just have to. I'm sorry. And then Ben sees the kid and lowers the gun because he's, once again...
He's not a monster.
He's not a monster. He may commit countless murders and be complicit in I hesitate to say genocide, but mass killing. He may be complicit in
He may create a mass grave.
Yes, he may be responsible for a mass grave, but babies, no. If you're under
and
10,
not in front of them.
If you're under 10, not for Ben.
Oh my God. Yeah, in terms of his murder profile, yes.
Absolutely. And so he's
That's his hitman ad.
That's exactly it. One for me, none for me.
Ages 11 plus.
All teens are
12-year-old is fine.
12-year-old's fine. 19-year-olds, let me at 'em.
Let me at 'em. I'll take the Uzi and the big old blasting shotgun and the knife just to be certain.
Ben, I think that's excessive. He's 19. He's probably not much of a threat.
He should have known better. God, I am Ben, and I am here to kill your son, ma'am. Does your son have a child? Because the only way to stop me is to take the child of my murder victim and put them in the same room.
That's my only weakness.
At that point, I can't kill.
Otherwise, too bad. So sad.
Were there no other children in the Dharma Initiative?
Right? Like Ben was the only child in the Dharma Initiative.
The dad, Miles was
Miles
born in the Dharma Initiative.
born.
And Charlotte also.
Was born in the Dharma time.
But they also just leave and don't get killed for some reason?
Yeah. There's definitely some timeline questions here that we'll probably get into when the questions come up. Which, by the way, I think I have to do them this week. Is that right?
I think so.
I think so, yeah. in the process of putting down his gun, he gets owned by Desmond, punched a million times, punched a lot, as Ben is wont to do, and tossed into the ocean.
It's cool.
It's cool, and I like to see it, frankly. And that's Ben's flashbacks.
It's great. It's great, and it's beautiful.
It's weird. It's a lot of weird stuff. The thread of like the conflict with Widmore is like, it's I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's like there's something
It's a little bit forced.
It's a
and
bit
it's
forced.
a little bit half-baked.
It's very rushed and half-baked
Yeah.
for sure. It's like, why? It's like, this is the big reason that they have this big epic conflict. And the answer is just like, Widmore liked to kill a baby.
He wanted to kill a baby one time.
And Ben
which is
said,
like,
no.
forgive and forget, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
We all have wanted this.
Whomst among he who is without sin cast the first stone.
Yes.
Killed the first baby.
Yeah, I think that's what Jesus was talking about when he
Yeah.
said that.
He was talking about this episode of Lost that he
Yeah.
saw.
We've all attempted murder upon a baby.
Whomst amongst us? I mean, Bible times probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The babies were... you wouldn't even get jail time for a baby back then. Oh, my God. Okay, all right.
Okay.
To the regular time.
Regular time. It's the present. The Ajira flight has landed on the island a second time. Ben is back. And you know who else is back?
Randos.
Bunch of rando bullshit, no nothing do-gooders.
Most of the people we see here are randos, and
Yes.
then it's Ben and John Locke.
Yes. So it's a quality duo surrounded by nobodies.
Yeah.
And that quality duo is delightful.
They do well today.
They do well today. They have, we've said it before, Ben's good, Locke's good. Seeing them have interplay is good. And the whole main story is just them, like, vibing off each other.
It's cool.
They're married, basically.
They're married.
They have a lot of
married.
banter.
How's it start?
Ben wakes up, and Locke is like, hey, I'm here. And Ben's like, well,
I thought I killed you.
thought I killed you. And Locke's like, I thought so too, but here we are. And they're like, this is awkward.
All right. You want to get in the boats?
Let's get in the boats. Let's hop in the boats. Basically, Ben breaks down, like, here's the deal. Here's the real reason I came back to the island. I didn't come back to, like, reunite everybody. I came back to be judged for my sins.
Mm-hmm.
I broke the rules, after all. I left the island. So I gotta be judged by what you guys call the monster.
Ooh.
And Locke's like, ooh, interesting. I'll help you out with that. That sounds like a fun little adventure.
Let's go, buddy-o.
Let's go. I love to wear...
Also, I expect an apology.
Yes, we get a very good scene of Locke being like, we gotta talk about it. We gotta, that awkward.
You killed me.
That awkward moment where you're standing in a room with the person who killed you.
Yeah, I know I'm not a child, but I
Mhm.
mean, you could have not killed me.
You didn't have to kill me. And Ben kind of goes through his reasoning for killing Locke, which is a scene we haven't seen yet, but I'm sure we will. And Ben basically breaks it down and says, like, he justifies it with the same way he always justifies it.
He did it for the island.
He did it for the island. It was the only way to get everybody back was to kill you. And so Locke reply after like this big long monologue about how Ben is like
monologue.
After this big monologue about how like I did it for the island. It was the only reason to do it, and it seemed to work. And he goes off for a minute, and Locke eventually just kind of settles down and goes, you could have just said I'm sorry.
Oh,
and it's like
true.
And this episode is just like full of little moments like that, where Ben, it feels like Ben is trying to be like, he's trying to be like classic Ben of being like turbo manipulator, turbo running the show, but Locke is just like somehow ascended. And the reason for that is, of course, because you and I know that it's not Locke.
Locke is the smoke monster.
It's the smoke monster.
Locke is the very person that Ben is trying to see and gain forgiveness from.
That's true.
But he won't say I'm sorry to him.
No, he won't say I'm sorry to him. And that's why Locke decides to torment everybody and become the antagonist.
And then so they want to go in boats.
Yes, they want to go in boats, and they're trying to go in boats. But then the randos are like, hey,
you can't do this.
Can't do that. How do you know so much about the island?
Yeah.
We're trying to survive, and we're mad about it. And if you guys are trying to go, well, I'm going to have to pull my shotgun out and wait a second.
where's my gun?
And then sure enough, Ben's already got it. And Ben
blasts him
point blank in the tummy.
It's crazy. And the guy flies back. And then he says, consider that my apology to Locke, which is nuts.
Which is wild.
Your apology for murdering someone is murdering a different person right beside them.
Just like, you gotta find a different way to express yourself, Ben.
Stop apologizing for murders with murders.
Apologize with your words.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. You could have just said, I'm sorry. You didn't have to kill Drake.
Jeez Louise.
Or Kevin, or whatever his name is.
I think his name was Caesar.
Caesar.
Caesar, dude.
Caesar. Oh, Caesar.
Yeah.
I thought you said Caesar.
Caesar, no, that's my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah. Oh.
So, they go on a boat to the main island, and they are chatting. They're having a fun time. They're being very married about it. It's just a lot of cute banter. Cute banter between two rivals forced to work together. A lot of like Locke, a lot of Ben being like, I know where to go, but I don't know how he's gonna feel, and Locke clearly be like,
just fucking with him.
Here's my favorite moment. I think is they go to the Yellow House Dharma Town, and it's all like wrecked and dilapidated, and they're like chatting about whatever, and then a light goes on in Ben's old house, and Ben goes, "That's my old house. Not only is that my old house, that's Alex's room," and Locke is just like, "Well, I suppose you better check it out then." He's just like egging him on.
Yeah, it's cool.
So good.
And it makes like actual tension too for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's good.
It's pretty
Lost
good.
does not always succeed with like actual character pieces as good as this, because it's like when it gets really bad, when we go to like season 6, all of season 6 doesn't have a moment as good as like the on-screen chemistry between Ben and Locke Monster.
Yes,
right now
that is true, and so much of the meat of the episode is just the chemistry between them, and it really, like, as bonkers as a lot of it is, they really do like hold the episode together, and also the entire episode is them, so it has so much more cohesion than the average season 5 episode,
because we don't get any Jack, Kate, Sawyer.
We don't hop back in time at all.
Bernard,
we don't hop
Rose.
We don't hop like off the island at all, except for like Ben's flashbacks. Like, the most disjointed part is Ben's flashbacks, and even those are like have kind of a
they're fine.
They at least have like a cohesive through line to them. So the result is one of season 5's more cohesive and like genuinely kind of fun episodes. So they end up investigating the house, and who's in there? It's just Sun and Lapidus. They're hanging out. They're having a good old time, and they basically they show them a pic of Dharma Initiative from the 1977, and they go, "Look, it's our other friends. They're here," and they're like,
"They're back in time."
They're like, this is fucked up, and not only that, but Locke is here too. And they're like, "What? But Locke died." But Locke walks in and says, "Here I am.
I'm back, baby.
I'm back." And they're like, "This is impossible." And he's like, "I know, it's fucked up, but I'm back."
I like how, because Ben is really shook by, and he explains how shook he is by Locke being back.
Yes.
But he finds out that everyone else is back in time, and he's like, all right, whatever.
That's true. They really dive so hard into like how like Ben gives a whole speech to Sun about like how
he's really scared.
He's really scared. He's seen the island, like, maybe my favorite speech in the episode is he's seen the island do like miraculous things, heal the sick, go through time, etc., etc.
Go through time.
But dead is dead. You'd never come back from dead, and yet here Locke is. And so maybe this is a sign that my time is over and Locke's time has just begun. Yeah. And it's
good.
Like, it's like, I don't know why he's being like so like open to Sun of all people.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny, but like it is a good little speech.
Well, they did just have a moment a bit ago where she pointed a gun to his head. So.
That's true. But
the sun gun.
Like you said, he's fine with time travel.
Oh yeah.
He's just super chill about it.
Yeah, well, it's cool.
It's fine. Time travel is wacky. He's like, well, it's time for me to summon the monster. Here I go. And he opens up a bookshelf and goes into a closet. And in the closet is a tomb or a ruins or something.
It's weird. Super weird.
Super weird. It's a dank little cave that gets
also
tiny
in
and
the
teeny.
closet it just seems like Ben's normal closet too.
Yeah.
Seems like Ben's closet is behind a bookshelf.
Yeah, it's a bookshelf and then a closet, and then behind the closet is just an entrance to a secret underground ruin. And it's all dank and gross, and then he goes and then he sees at the end of it a little puddle of muddy water. He reaches into the muddy water, latches onto something, and then the toilet water drains.
It drains.
and
that's how he knows.
That's how he knows to summon the monster?
So he goes outside and he says, "The monster will come now because I drained the water."
Because I drained the poo-poo water from my poo-poo hole.
It's gross.
From my little sink.
The monster always comes when I drain the water. So stupid.
Yeah, that's that late lost shit, you know. Just like, all right.
When you touch the rock 3 times and whistle just right, the monster will come.
It's literally like adventure game nonsense. Like,
yeah, totally.
If I crouch next to the wall for 5
It's
seconds.
really funny though, because it's like the water thing could be cool if there was anything under the water, but there's not. It just drains.
It just drains and it's empty, and he's like, I did it. I'm proud of myself now.
Yeah, and then he has to go outside to see the monster. The tomb is just a glorified sink.
Yeah, you could have made it like look cool.
Totally.
Remember when you spent season 2 making a cool set for a hatch with a button in it?
Yeah.
Now we got poopy water.
Yeah, this is how we get the smoke monster out. This is the big reveal.
This is the big reveal. The smoke monster doesn't come. Locke comes through though. And he says, and Ben's like, it's weird that the smoke monster's not coming. And Locke says, well, you know what? I know where
to him.
Let's go to him. And they have a nice little moment about like where Ben kind of grills Locke about like, hey, why do you know so much about the island? You seem to know everything. What do you like? Wake up one day and you just know everything, or like, well, how's it work? And Locke just kind of shuts him down with a good like, well. You hate this, don't you? You hate that I'm in charge and you're not. Well, guess what? Now you knew how I felt when I was following you around and killing my dad and shit. So why don't you...
When I was following you around and killing my dad and shit.
Yeah, dude. Remember when...
Locke just tells it like it is. He's like, you know, I was really uncomfortable when you told me to kill my dad. So chill, Ben.
So, I'm asking you to follow me to the place you need to go. Please just be real.
And you know where they need to goddamn go?
Our favorite location on the island.
The temple.
The temple, baby.
But not even in the temple, just inside the wall.
Yeah, just
outside the temple.
Yeah, right? It's like they don't quite make it inside past the wall of the temple. Because they go in, and Ben kind of admits to Locke, like, you know what? I feel bad about letting Alex die. By the way, a whole thing that keeps coming up is how Alex died, which is that we see it in the previously on. Alex is killed. The military guys come through, and they're like, we're going to kill Alex. Ben calls what he thinks is a bluff and says, if you want to shoot her, go ahead. And you know what? They go ahead and shoot her.
Yeah.
And he's feeling wrecked about this.
Yeah, he's not happy about it.
He's not happy about it. Locke kind of has been grilling him about this. In fact, it comes to light that like he's not getting judged for just breaking some bullshit rules, like leaving the island or whatever. He wants to be judged for this sin, love letting Alex die. And he admits to Locke in this scene, like, you know what? I spent a whole bunch of time. I turned Saeed into a murderer because I thought, and I tried to kill Penny because I thought, you know, this is Widmore's
Weird
fault.
Stuff.
It's Widmore's fault. It's he sent these men to the island to kill my daughter, but you know what? It was my fault. God damn it! I gotta admit it. I gotta grow up and admit I killed my daughter somehow, some way. And Locke says, "Well, that's very mature."
Admit.
You know what?
Yo, I just need to admit.
Gotta be real with you, Chief.
Yeah, I gotta
get this.
Tell
off my
you
chest.
honestly, I killed my daughter.
You know what? I might have killed a lot of people, but I really did kill my daughter.
And I'm sad about that one.
That one eats at me. Not a lot of murders eat at me. The Matt's great.
No.
Not
None
so
of the
much.
other ones. He wasn't even sorry about anything else.
No, just my daughter. Feel bad about it. And you know what? I should feel bad about it.
Chill.
And
Chill, McGuill.
and Locke says, you know what? That's a start. Let's keep on rolling. Ben does a funny fall through the ground, and Locke says, "Oh, hold on, I'll go get you something to drag you up." And then he says, "Wait a second." Looks around. It's a weird room. It's a room with some holes in the ground.
And the ground holes
and some hieroglyphs on the wall.
And he has a torch.
He has a torch now.
The torch starts to go out.
Yes.
And the smoke starts pouring out.
It starts pouring out, and it engulfs him, and it engulfs the whole screen, and it looks fucking bad.
Yeah, it does look bad.
Maybe the worst the smoke monsters ever looked is when he engulfed the entire screen. And he engulfs the whole screen, and then, like, Ben's just, like, standing in, like
swirling smoke.
Swirling vision. He hits the big ol' rippy bong, and he goes, wow. And he starts to see the flashes of Alex's life, effectively. From being a little baby to saying, I hate you, you're not my dad, to getting shot. And Ben's making a lot of sad faces about it.
He's like, "Oh, this sucks. I wish I didn't get her killed.
I hope I don't win an Emmy for this." And then he does, and that's the ultimate tragedy. And then the smoke dissipates, and he's so distraught. But who's left standing there? It's Alex.
Yeah.
Alex
his little daughter.
And he goes, "Daddy." And Ben goes, "Honey, I'm sorry that I killed you." And Alex says, "You fucking better be sorry, buddy," and shoves him against the wall.
Yeah.
I'm pissed off at you.
Understandably so.
And he says, "Listen, I know you're already..." This is my favorite. The number one call out of the episode is Alex shoving Ben against the wall and saying, "I know you're already planning to kill Locke again."
Oh my God.
And, like, of course he is. Like, of course.
All he does is plan to kill Locke.
All he does is plan to kill Locke. All day I dream about slaying Locke.
Oh. But Alex doesn't like it.
No, Alex says if you touch one non-existent hair on his non-existent head, I will personally turn you
the shit out of you, Dad.
I'm gonna turn you into stuffing, Dad.
Oh.
And Ben says, I'm sorry, oh my goodness. And then Alex leaves, and Ben is like, oh my gosh. And then comes back out, and Locke says, "Did you find it? What happened?" And Ben says, "It let me live."
Let me live. And Locke has the world's weirdest rope.
Mm-hmm.
And
he
pulls Ben up.
He has a little piece of licorice.
Long. It's such a weird rope.
It's not a good rope.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
But I guess that's the rope that you can find in the temple wall.
You can't find much rope in the temple wall, but you can find a weird little find.
The rope in the temple wall.
Mm-hmm.
Illustrated by Michael Marchenko.
Ah, yes. Tintin and the rope in the temple wall.
Robert Munch, actually.
Oh, yes. My favorite.
And the rope in the temple wall.
And the rope in the temple wall. That's the episode, which, once again, I must say, for all its fucking dumbass bullshit, pretty fun.
It was okay.
Pretty watchable.
It's fine.
Definitely like top tier season 5 for sure.
Yeah.
Which is, I know, a low bar to clear, but I had a good time.
It's better than anything I've seen from season 6.
For sure. And you know what's good? I've got a lot of questions about this.
I would love to see if I can even begin to answer these questions.
Well, I should clarify. I don't have these questions.
Uh-huh.
These are questions accumulated at lostpedia.fandom.com, a comprehensive guide to every notable question on Lost given per episode, as well as its answer, of course.
As well as a potential answer. A theory cobbled together from speculation.
Yeah, a decent amount of speculation. I suspect we will get a great deal of speculation. I also I know I always say this, but it's always fun to dive into just like an article on a character, where it's just like to look at Widmore's article, who's just like, he loved to kill babies and then became an industrialist. He has 2 children, and we don't know who Penny's mom is.
Weird. Whitmore's a weird character.
Widmore is such a weird character. I definitely recommend looking up viewers at home, not necessarily James, because I think this will spoil it. But look up Eloise Hawking's article, because that's a life. What a life lived. Have I gone too far? Yes, I have.
I really want to look it up now.
This is a big one. Okay. We're gonna start with a juicy little slice. Was Ben or Widmore right about the island's will for Alex's life?
I think Ben?
It's ambiguous, I think. I think that one's ambiguous. Well, guess what? They clarify. Considering that Jacob seems to have a caring for mothers and their children, it seems likely that Ben was right about it. No citation there. Just thoughts.
That's just someone said that.
Just someone said that. Why did Christian and the monster both insist on the castaways following Locke?
I have no... Oh, because that is the monster.
They're all the monster, baby. It's all part of his elaborate chess game to get it to him. What are Locke's ideas to bring their friends back to the present?
I really don't know, actually. Did they even mention that at all?
To lure Sun, like Sun is kind of like, you can get me to my husband. He's stuck in the past, and Locke is like, I've got some ideas. But first, we got to go drain the poo-poo water.
Oh, God.
The answer is he has none.
Oh, my
because
God.
he does not intend to bring them back. Where was Locke while Ben was summoning the monster? Probably doing some monster shit.
He was being the monster.
Obviously being the monster. Oh, God. I don't even want to talk about Ilana's group. We didn't even get into that.
I hate them.
Lapidus, a thing we didn't even mention. Lapidus, like, basically, like, when Locke comes through, he's like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm going back to the group of randos because we need to, like, save them. And he goes back, and it's too late. Already, Ilana's shown up. Remember Ilana? She blew up. She's a servant of Jacob. Turns out she's here. She's, like, getting shit together. And she's like, take care of this guy. We're running things now. We're doing it for Jacob.
It's awful.
It's nonsense. How much does Ilana's group know about the island? Whoa.
I don't care.
They're
the worst.
So many of these questions are Ilana related. I'm stunned.
Hate that
Why did
group.
Ilana take Lapidus captive?
I have no idea.
Jeez. How did Locke know to go to the hole under the temple? A lot of these questions, you might
He's
notice,
the smoke monster.
have the same answer. What is the monster's connection to the Egyptian deities?
Ew.
What?
Yeah.
Excuse
no.
me? The monster itself is not a deity, but the monster tends to perpetrate widespread delusion among the island's inhabitants for its manipulative purposes. It seems that the monster masqueraded as a deity early on to the early island inhabitants.
Oh, that's sort of cool.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
But Ben, like, throughout the episode, Ben earnestly believes, like, I'm actually being judged by the
the monster.
And I don't know that it can be manifest as dead people, even though I see it happen. Why did the monster let Ben live, of course?
Because it wants to use him to get off the island.
You got it, baby. Big episode for knowing that. So a fun thing that if you were watching this in the normal way, you would not know that Locke is the monster.
Okay, yeah.
So
that makes sense.
So a lot of those scenes are just like, whoa, Locke is just sick as shit now. Instead of like, oh, Locke is like really like when
Locke is the guy.
Like that's one of the few things where it's like actually like a twist that makes you go, oh shit, this makes perfect sense.
That's cool then. That's good.
Mm-hmm. It's not the worst. That's the questions, huh?
Wow.
That
was a weird episode. I'm sort of disappointed that Lostpedia focused so much on Ilana.
Yeah.
And just an awful, awful character.
Yeah, like they have like 2 seconds of screen time. They have a scene, like easily the worst scene in the episode. When so much of the fun stuff is just like the husband and wife couple of Ben and Locke. They're married.
They are married.
Congratulations to them for getting married.
They bicker like a married couple.
They bicker like a married couple, and they go, "Oh, I murdered you," and you go, "Well, I'm the smoke monster secretly," and they go, "Oh, well,
we're both lying."
You know what? But we make it work.
Who's better? You know,
who the heck is better? Well, who's on first? Who's on 60th? What do you say we roll ourselves a fun little number?
I would love to. Let me just pull up random.org.
Yes, we're going to pull up our favorite website called random.org. And we go to the true random number services. And it offers true random numbers to anybody online. We're going 1 to 60. James is typing in. You can hear him clickety-clacking. 5. Oh, my God. 5. This
cool.
is
Season 1.
Season 1, Episode 9, Solitary.
Great.
It's a Saeed episode.
Great. Cool.
I
This will
will-
be good.
I will double check, but I think it might be our last Saeed episode.
Oh, wow.
I will confirm that for next time.
I feel like we're going to start to get a lot of that soon.
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely we are gearing up for the final, I'm going to call it lap.
Year.
Finally, yeah, this is the final year, I think. We can't figure out if this ends in late 2019 or early 2020, but the end is in sight.
The end is in sight. We will make it.
We're going to make it. I can't believe it. It's been what a ride it's been. Thank you so much for listening to our show. I've been Bean. You can follow me on Twitter at Barrier Trio.
I am James. You can see all my misadventures at jamesbrown.space.
And we're also going to give a shout out to Noisepace.xyz for hosting us, because they love to host podcasts, and we are, of course, a podcast. But you know what? There's a bunch of other great podcasts, too. I listened to the latest My Pod Cabbages today, and it was a very wholesome listen. So check out that. Check out every other podcast on that network, too. It's good to hear. That'll be it for us, I think. That's the whole spiel, right?
That's it. You got to get back to your shower.
Oh, before I get back to my shower,
Uh-huh.
you should also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/theislandshuffle or on Twitter at Island Shuffle.
At Island Shuffle.
If you'd like. We're not going to force you to, but if you'd like.
You would like.
Now I
will
got to get
force
back
you
to my shower.
Yeah.
Honestly, I got to get pruny.
You got to get pruny. You got to warm up those legs.
These pants are going to earn themselves.
Hopefully by next week you'll have pants.
We'll see. You know what? Only time will tell. Time and these wrinkly legs.
And these wrinkly old legs. Yeah.
Thanks a million for listening. And like we say at the end of every episode,